see what's going on a little bit.
Well, hopefully you see something more than I do, because all them red and blues are kind of like hiding any crap that may be going on. I think it's around the 221 building.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully nothing too crazy.
I hope not either. Having 5 cops?
Yeah, they definitely raced over here, right?
Yeah, they come flying in. Yeah.
Hello. What's up, guys? Over here in Shady Knoll. Bunch of officers came screaming in. What's up, Crawfordsville? Not sure what's going on. Got some officers up here. I can see them in the hallway up there. Might be probably some kind of domestic call. But I was in the area, saw them screaming over here. Figured I'd come check it out. Got an officer talking to someone up there. What's up, guys? Crawfordsville, Indiana. We got a couple officers up there talking to somebody. Got an officer down there. Got an officer downstairs, officer upstairs. This is I can see a couple officers in the upstairs hallway. One of them's downstairs. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cop cars here, 5 or 6. A little bit of action Tuesday night. Something's going on in that building over there.
probably know better than anybody. Do you know what the hell's going on?
My guess is probably like a domestic or something. Probably some people fighting. The cops don't usually race to a scene like this unless it's like violent or like, you know, someone's safety's like, you know, on the line. So there's probably, you know, Crawfordsville encrypted their radio, so
Yeah, I tried to look at it.
yep, not picking up their signal anymore. But I'd imagine someone called in and said, you know, or, you know, maybe a neighbor heard some fighting going on. I haven't heard yet. But if they end up getting arrested, I guess we can, you know, see on the arrests or busted newspaper later about what's going on, but can only speculate right now.
Yeah.
My guess is it was probably someone heard fighting or someone called and reported getting hit or, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be my best guess.
I know you have that police thing. I figured you know more than anybody else would.
Yeah, I'm just I just grabbed some food. I was heading home to get some, you know, just to sit down and start eating, and then I saw them racing by and I was like, well, let's, you know, if I get the chance to film something going on in town, I'll usually take the time to take it.
Yeah.
I don't got a wife and kids, so I got time on my hands. More people, you know, I'm hoping I motivate more people to film, you know. It's like there's a difference between like getting all up in these guys' business big time, you know, and then just like standing back like this, you know. When they come out here, I'm not gonna, unless they do something stupid to me, I'm not gonna give them a hard time, you know.
Yeah.
They're in the past, you know, they shine their light at me like some jackasses, and I've called them out on that before. But
Yeah.
you know, usually, you know, as long as I'm not seeing anything weird, I let them do their thing, you know. I want cops, but I want them to be doing the right thing, you know. Definitely don't want them harassing people and violating people's rights.
No, yeah, for sure.
I'm also, you know, an advocate for cannabis legalization. So, you know, a little bit of what they're doing is just arresting people for weed. Good job, you know. Like, not, you didn't really, you know, unless.
I mean, we disagree on a lot, but I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Jeremiah, by the way.
Jason.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Officially.
nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I wish more people would film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just out here, you know, it's half community coverage and like news, and then it's, you know, the other half is it's important to remind the police that we're out here watching and that they're being filmed.
Yeah.
Because if they know, hey, someone might show up with a camera, you know, they're less likely to violate policy and be assholes. So there was a traffic stop just out here next to Pizza King earlier, and they had some black lady pulled out of her truck, ran the dog around it. Dog didn't signal, you know, and the lady got back in and drove off. You know, it was non-eventful, but it makes you wonder sometimes, you know, had I not been here recording and they saw me, would that dog have signaled? You know?
Yeah.
So a little bit of recording is also protecting the public. And video record records the police too, or, you know, saves the police's ass a lot of times too. So, you know, if anything questionable were to go on and I was in the area recording, they could always subpoena my footage and say, look, you know, we weren't doing anything wrong. And I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't hide that footage, or, you know, I kind of just show up and record and let them make a fool of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they don't always do that. Half the time they're pretty decent. There's a couple good cops, and, you know, let's say someone was in there beating on his old lady in there, you know, we want them to be showing up and shutting stuff like that down.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, there's just my thing is, it's like you can have 100 good encounter, or you can have, like, let's say you're an officer, you can have 100 good interactions with the community, but just like one bad one can flush all that good stuff down the toilet, you know. So a lot of people are like, oh, they're not all bad, you know, they do a lot of good. I'm like, yeah, but the bad that they do really, you know, like violating people's rights is just, when you're a cop, you can't, that's just,
I've never
you got to
had a
take it
problem
seriously.
with city cops. I've had a problem with state troopers.
Yeah, their state tends to be, they will pull over anybody for any reason. You know, some of these city cops might let some people drive by them with a headlight out. State trooper's going to whip around on you and pull you over.
Yep.
And you would think to be, my experience, they're a little bit more rude, a little bit more bitey. They're kind of a little bit more like ethical, kind of like power tripping a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm a state trooper.
Yeah,
They think they're the shit, and they expect everyone to kind of bow down to them. I've got them multiple times pulling people over here in town, searching their car, not finding anything, and then I'm like, you know, giving the boo. Like, look, you just pulled these people out of their car, wasted their time. But it's yeah, they're not all bad, but if no one's out here questioning them at all, you know, that's where it gets out of control.
Yeah.
You know, if they're like, no one's recording us, we can do it, you know, then, you know, sometimes that power gets a little bit, it's a little intoxicating and they can't handle it sometimes. But if you got someone like me who's kind of coming and poking a camera around every once in a while, hopefully it's leaving that, you know, that little spot in their head that's like, oh, better fucking follow the rules. You never know when Jason Spurlock's gonna come walking around the corner with the camera.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I got free time, so this is what I do. You know, I do a lot of other things. I got my
drone business, don't you?
Not a business, but I do it as a hobby on the side right now. I'm wanting to go commercial with it, start making some money off of it.
Did you do Iron Man?
So like I got this year Iron Man, I crashed my drone like the week before, so I've been trying to get that replaced. So I've been without my drone for the last couple weeks, but I never film the event or any racing going on out there. But yeah, like the camping crowd, like the night before, Motocross the Nations, they actually had a federal flight restriction. So like not even airplanes were allowed. Like aircraft had to divert, couldn't fly over because it was such a big event and it was international. And but the night before, I got out there, got my drone up, got some pictures. But you know, are you familiar with the MWXC?
The dirt bike racing?
Yeah, that series.
Yeah, my cousin used to race in that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've gone to a couple of their events and got my drone out close to the track and got some cool shots of them flying by, you know, racing by and stuff. But my thing is Iron Man, GNCC is a little bit more legit.
Maybe that's what he did.
Yeah.
GCC.
The MWXC is more of a kind of an off-brand circuit or series of sorts. It's like Midwest cross country or something. It's still pretty big, but it's not GNCC big, and it's not so like if I ever want to be employed and actually get a job, be able to fly and capture Iron, it's best for me not to show up like without permission. And so I get some cool shots, but the GNCC, all that, like you have to have a media pass. And
oh shit, hold up.
something coming out over here. So yeah, I've been wanting to get some cool shit with my drone at GNCC, but I need to go about it the right way, because if I post content, someone will contact the Schaefer family and be like, hey, Jason's out here flying his drone. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have, you know, people would love to fucking throw me under the bus, you know, and try to challenge, you know. And if that, what I'd hate to happen is like to get like a no trespass order and not be able to go out there anymore, because that's one of my favorite things to do in Crawfordsville. So we don't fly out there. I fly around the perimeter, or like when there's not a race going on, like the day before, you know, and no one controls the airspace. So like I can technically fly over the race if I wanted, but to be down like to kind of be down like in the action, that's a little bit, you know, at that, you know, what am I trying to say? When I get the pictures out there of Iron Man, I'm technically off their property. So I'm like in the cornfield across the road, which isn't technically, you know, but if they could prove that I was on their property capturing media and they didn't like it, I hope the Schaefer family likes me a little bit, but probably not. I'm this place is very pro-Trump, and I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum there. So
I've noticed that. I mean, I'm for Trump. But,
hell yeah, and you know,
to each their own.
yeah, to each their own. Exactly. I'm just,
You know,
I got a platform a little bit, and I'm opinionated just naturally. So, and if I had a wife and kids, it'd probably be a little different because I'd be like, oh, I can't bring this heat to the family, you know. But all I got is 2 cats.
me too.
If someone fucked my cats, though, we'd have a problem for sure.
See, I can agree with you.
Yeah. So if any you bad guys out there listening, I'll go fucking. What's that movie? John
Wick?
Yeah, John Wick. Yeah, you mess with my cats.
Mm-hmm.
You just gave me a reason. I'm a pretty chill pickle, unless people give me a reason not to be, you know. So I'm out here really not bothering anyone, giving anyone a hard time, unless someone comes and approaches me all sideways and weird. And I got a twin brother, I got an older brother, I got a dad who, you know, was like, he's picking on you, go punch him in the nose. You know, so that's how I was raised. I'm not real quick to bow down from conflict too much. People get to barking on Facebook, and I'm like, well, you know, if you feel that strongly about it, come run up on me in public and, you know, see how well that goes for you. I'm not the biggest badass out here. I'm sure there's plenty of people out here who could beat me up, but you're never going to see Jason being like, quit, stop. You know, like, officer, I'm not calling the cops. I'm fighting you first.
Yeah.
I might call him afterwards if you break something of mine.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't agree with that you do, but you know, that's part of America.
Yep.
And I had to see what was going on out here. So
Yeah, it's got to be some kind of domestic dealio. I figured they'd show up out here already, but I might walk down there and then walk back and end the live for now. Yeah, this will be on. I got a Facebook channel. I recently changed the name to MoCo Police Watch. It used to be MoCo Montgomery County Police Accountability Coalition. But I was like, that's feeling a little wordy. You know, like, it says what I want it to say, but like when people are trying to talk about the page, you know, it's hard that's just a lot of words to say. So I was like, MoCo Police Watch is a little bit easier to roll off the tongue. But I also got a YouTube video, or YouTube page, and that's what we're live on right now. So
you're on YouTube right now.
Yep. It's live right now, but it'll be posted later. Not much action.
No.
A lot of people are like, you following around the cops. I'm like, I'm not following around the cops. This is a small town. It's not hard to run into police stuff going on. And I just live a couple blocks away, so I heard cops screaming this way. I'm like, well, just about to step into my place. Let me grab my camera and record what's going on here. Cops out here much at all?
I haven't seen them in a while. It's
Okay.
more the fire department.
All right, yep.
Yeah, they always have somebody. Somebody's getting taken away in a gurney or needing a welfare check or something like that.
Yeah, there's some older people here, maybe some like false. Did the hallways have like fire alarms, smoke alarms in them? Like automatic?
I think,
Like you could like pull a thing to make the alarm go off?
I think. I'm not sure. I don't really pay attention to that. I just walk right past it.
Right, yeah, it's just normal stuff. It's like, is it doorknobs or door handles? I don't know.
We got
Shit, never
door
even think about
handles. I know
it.
that.
Yeah, it's like,
But they're all
I'm not-
different. So like,
Oh, okay, each building might have a little.
yeah, like my building was renovated before I moved in, and
Some of them are a couple years behind, waiting to get.
some of the carpets are older from like the early 2000s or.
Has that nice like old people smoking smell
Yep.
in some of these buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma lived in like an apartment like this, and I remember walking in as a kid being like, man, y'all like to smoke cigarettes in here.
It's gotten ridiculous though. They upped our rent and everything.
Damn. Yeah, that's
I just
happening
pay for
to.
water now.
Who recently just told me that? They're like, yeah, my rent. My aunt lives in apartment places behind here. That little like Craig Drive. Like there's a fence behind this building, and then there's a little apartment community back here. They're all just one-story buildings. But she said the same thing. She was like, man, I like this place, but they just recently started making us pay for water and
Making us pay for
sewage.
water. Not sewage.
Okay.
But they're making us pay for water. They upped our rent. Like when I first moved in here in 21, I was paying $5.15.
Man.
I'm paying $8
Okay.
now.
Damn. Yeah. And how long ago was that? You said,
21.
okay, so just 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
They've raised it that much. Yeah, I had a spot at Laurel Flats for a bit, for about a year, and then they raised it from, I was at like 720, and they raised it to like 900. I was like, what?
Little one bedroom.
Yeah. Like raised it up to, I've been here 1 year, you're gonna raise it $200?
Yeah.
Like that's,
It's getting ridiculous trying to do anything.
yeah, it sucks. And it's like, I go put in my 40 hours plus a week, you know,
Where you work?
and
at?
international
Oh, okay.
IP. Yeah, it's not too bad of a gig.
Are they hiring actually
Yeah, they probably are.
for forklift drivers?
Forklift tends to, yeah, yep. Shipping,
What's the pay? Do you know? Starting
probably
pay-
like, you'll probably start at like maybe $22 for the first like 90 days. But I'm pretty sure drivers over there make like 26 an hour, like bottom.
Really?
Yeah. So you could probably make between 22 and 26 starting. I'm pretty sure after your 90 days, you'd be at least making 26 for a driver over there.
I don't want to.
Yeah, right.
The
I can,
sorry. The country, you know. You have your opinions, I have mine.
yep. And so the thing is, like, when I go to work, I don't like, when I'm at work, lost some internet. I used to leave for lunch and come back, and I'd come back, and there'd be like 20 fresh across the border Hispanic people. You know, and like you can just tell like how an American dresses and how like, you know, I could tell, I was like, these people are not, they're new here.
Yes.
You know, you can just tell. And more power to them. And my thing is like, you know, I get it. The places they leave are horrible. There's a lot better opportunity here. I really think our country should have a better ability to let folks come in and prove themselves. You know, because there's work that needs to be done. But you should be able to come to America's border and say, hey, I want to come in. We're going to look at you physically first. Okay, do you have any fucking like lice, scabies, or anything that's communicable? You know, let's stop that here. We're going to test you. We're going to do some blood work. Cool, you're going to stay for about 2 days while we just give you the physical. In the 2 days, we're going to check your English. We're going to do a strict check Interpol, fingerprints. We're going to take DNA. So if you want to come to America, unfortunately,
know
you're
who
going to
you
have
are.
to give us, you know,
Your life.
normal people, if you haven't committed a felony, you don't have to give up your DNA. But if you're going to come to America and you're on this trial period, unfortunately, we're going to swab you. We're going to take your DNA. So if you do go commit a crime, we're going to get your ass.
Yes.
And so we should make it, I think we should make it easier for these folks to get in, but then hold them to a higher standard while they're on that probation period. And like, let's say, you know, like I go to jail for a DUI, I can bond out. If you're on that immigration probation period,
Yeah.
you don't get to bond out.
Yeah,
You're
you go
going
back.
you're going to be held, or you're at least going to be held until you go in front of a judge, and the judge is going to say, "Hey, we don't do this in America, and we're going to give you one chance. This is your slap on the wrist, but you're going to do 4 months in the county jail. So here's your, you know, we're taking this seriously. The next one, we're going to deport your ass." Or, you know, judge could also have the power and say, "I don't like your attitude. You're gone this first one," you know. Or
Isn't
it
that
could.
what they do though?
Well, I think it's discretion. A lot of these guys are getting pulled over with no license, and I think they're
I've
just.
noticed that a lot of
they're-
them have no operating without ever receiving a license.
And I think they just pay $500 to bond out, and then they get to bond out.
Yeah.
I don't think Boone County is for sure working with ICE and will put people on ICE holds. I'm not sure Montgomery County is there yet, and I haven't seen evidence or heard much about it. and I ask people, about it. I got some friends in the Hispanic community. I'm like, hey, have you heard anybody getting hemmed up around town or anything?
Yeah, I asked my girlfriend because she's from Nicaragua. I was
Okay.
I'm like, have you
hear
going on?
much?
And she's like, nothing.
There's the occasional spotting of a border patrol vehicle or customs, but I think Crawfordsville is a little bit more blue. I think with Wabash College being here, that probably
It's kind of like with Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois is only blue because of Chicago.
Yep. And if you leave Chicago, border.
It's like this.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But Chicago is a little bit more liberal. Just like Bloomington, Indiana, is a very liberal spot. All around it is red as hell, but Bloomington, fairly blue.
Yeah.
So we should definitely address immigration, but people have due process, and just running up on brown people in the street and grabbing them, being like, hey, we want to check your papers and shit. Like, whoa, that's a little too much. I don't like the tactics and methods going on.
So you agree with how they're doing it, just not the way they're doing it.
I want them to go after the bad guys. Guy, the guy on the corner selling fruit, or the guy, just some dude, just some random. I don't want cops, Border Patrol, or ICE driving down the street and saying, hey, let's check this guy out. You have to have a good reason. Oh, this guy looks like the guy who's on our list. He's one of, this guy looks like. I want them getting criminals. I don't want them getting people who showed up to America and actually are doing what we want them to do.
Like they showed up legally and everything?
Maybe not legally, but if you're here undocumented, but you're actually working and not causing no issues, there shouldn't be. I don't know about just grabbing those people off the street and getting rid of them. Because if you do that to all of them, it's going to have a pretty negative effect on the economy. It's gonna.
Which also shows how fucked it is, because they're hiring these. That's another thing I don't like about it. Is I have a guy that I work with. I'm not gonna say names or anything, but starting pay out there is $17 an hour. He makes $8 an hour.
Does he?
Yeah. And it's slavery.
Yeah, and that is definitely.
That's what I'm starting to see. Is
that's
both
what
sides,
it's wrong up. Yeah,
they care about the same thing, but they go about it in different ways.
Yep. And so I'm cool with taking it seriously, because one, we don't want human trafficking.
Yeah.
We don't want people getting paid a slave wage. It's not fair for someone to make this dollar and then just because he's a different status, he's getting paid less. So, but I'm just I love USA, but I'm not a big nationalist.
Oh, that's my girlfriend right now. Wait, no, it's not. Never mind.
I'm USA. I bleed red, white, and blue. But I think our country is great because of the diversity we have. So, if you want to leave these poor Central American and Southern American countries or Mexico, and come to America, I say we give you the chance. But just know that we're gonna, we're just gonna hold you more accountable if you get caught messing up. And the overwhelming majority of these guys, they get over here and they don't want to mess up their chance. So, but
at the same time, it's a spit into the face. It's a spit. You're spitting on the people who did it the right way.
A little bit.
Way.
Yeah. I get that. They definitely, they.
There you go. Get your shot.
Got him. I'll be walking this way.
I'm sure I'm gonna hear something. Oh, you were sitting with that guy.
Well, he didn't stink. It smells, at least he took a shower.
Yeah.
I could be out here freaking BO'd up. No arrests or anything.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Got a couple guys out, some of the newer guys up there in the front.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Okay. Let's see here. The redhead or the dark-haired guy?
The guy in the trunk.
Okay. His mom's a his mom's a teacher, right?
His stepdad is.
Okay.
It's Mr. Serber.
Oh, Jason Serber?
Yeah.
I love Jason Serber.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Dude, he's awesome.
You know Serber?
Yeah, he was my 7th grade history teacher and wrestling coach in 7th grade.
Oh, you wrestled?
Yeah, Mr. Serber was awesome. I was gonna wrestle in 8th grade and beyond, but in middle school they were like, hey, because I was pretty successful in diving too, and they were like, you got to choose between diving or wrestling. You can't do both.
They were winner.
And so they were like, you doing both isn't fair to the team, because sometimes you got to be at a swim meet, or sometimes you got to be at a wrestling meet. You got to choose one. So 8th grade, they didn't let me do both. And so that was the end of Jason Serber being my coach, but he was way cool.
Yeah, I didn't care for him at first, and I was like, okay, he's not bad. And I'm like, oh, he's also my cousin. That kind of helps.
He was kind of strict, you know, like people messing around in class. All right, Crawfordsville fam, we out. No arrests. Things are chill here. Tune in later. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button. Peace.